Yay! Sweet. Okay. So I said that I was going to do a video journal, and then of course like completely forgot about that. Slash, it's kind of weird to like be in your room talking to yourself, to your computer, and I am surprisingly really busy, a lot busier than I anticipated being. What is this? What is this? What is that? Is that in my face, or is that in the screen? Okay, it wasn't in my hair. It was just, alright, whatever. Oh man, I'm really bad at this. Okay, so Cambodia is beautiful. It is so beautiful. It's super green and lush. And in fact, if I can show you outside without dropping my computer, which would be super cool. Okay. I was not looking at what you just saw, so I hope that turned out well. And if it didn't, whatever. I'm gonna take pictures. Cambodia is really beautiful. This is the hardest thing I have done ever. It's been 2 weeks. This is the start of week 3 at my site, and it's really hard. Woo, it's really hard. But you know, sticking in there, making jokes, still laughing. So you know, at least I got that going for me. Let's try to fix this. Oh, there's a bar in there. I had it perfect the first time. I don't know why I moved it. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna keep my head right here. Yeah, so race is a super hard thing to like be dealing with in Cambodia, because the beauty ideal for a lot of people is white skin, and so I'm constantly getting questions about you know, whether I want to whiten my skin, and I have to explain to people that I like being black, and that like being black is important to me, and like I think being black is beautiful. And sometimes they laugh in my face because like that's a ridiculous concept to them. You know, no one's told them that like ever. And you know, they spend like money and time and talk about like whiteness, and even though it's currently 87 degrees, but even though it's like 80 to 90 degrees every single day, you know, people still will wear long sleeve shirts and hats and gloves, and you know, because they don't want the sun to get to their skin, because they just like want to be white. So it's not exactly the same. You know, a lot of here it would be very easy to compare to the United States as far as beauty ideals, gender hierarchy and things like that, but race and gender perform in completely different ways than they do in the States. So I constantly have to keep reminding myself of that it's not the same, and like these people have different experiences and a completely different culture and different reasons for why they feel this way. So what we've learned, and I think what I've witnessed a little bit, is that traditionally in Cambodian culture that being darker just means that like you work in the fields, and that like you're probably poorer and you know have a harder life, and if you are lighter skinned you have more money, you don't need to work in the field, and you know, more coveted. So yeah, so that's a really hard thing to deal with, because it's a point of conversation with every new person I meet. So sometimes it makes me want to hide in my room and not meet new people, but it's like the second week and the third week, so that's like mostly what I'm supposed to be doing right now, is meeting new people. So I'm trying to get over it, trying to find new vocabulary and new ways to explain like this is how I look naturally, and like it's important to me and why it's important to me. So worked on that a little bit, but I'm going to write more about all of this, so you can check that out on my written blog. I don't know where I'm pointing to. There's nothing over there. So yeah, another thing hard to deal with, gender hierarchies. Sometimes I just want a beer. I just want to drink a beer. Come home. Just want to drink a beer. It's been a hard day. It's hot. Beer would be cold and nice. And I can't because I'm a woman, and typically women around here don't drink beer, and that's kind of like beer and rowdiness is like reserved for the men. Again, another thing that would be like super easy to be like, look at this patriarchal society, and like the States has shit like this, and like, but it's totally different. You know, for one, the sexualization of women's body is like not really a thing here, as far as I've seen. In the cities, it is, and like in the music videos sometimes I watch, but in my village, it's like not a thing. I totally realized that I was so disordered when, you know, women just like pull out their boobs and they're feeding their babies, and sometimes they just leave them out, and like everywhere. I've seen so many boobs since I've been here, and you know, I'm just like, boobs. And then I realized, like, wow, I'm totally, like, not normal, because, like, in the United States, like, that's the reaction. It's just like, nah, your boobs are out. Like, what are you doing? Put those away. You're so silly. But yeah, no, boobs are for feeding babies, you know, so, but yeah, so being a black woman who likes both of those things is hard in this context. Yeah. And then, like, other things that have happened that have been kind of hard, which I will write about, and, like, you know, just, like, you're in a place that, like, a lot of people are really poor, the healthcare system is really bad, some bad things happen to people, and they can't really get help, so having to, like, deal with that reality and, like, live with that. Good things. My family's cool. My mom is probably the coolest. My younger sister doesn't really talk to me too much, which is kind of a bummer, because, my old host family really talked to me and was super into me, so, my dad talked to me for, like, the first time last week, and so did my, sister's husband, which was, like, a fist pumping moment. I don't know, what is that? That's so loud. I don't know what it is. I think it's something to do with, like, honor, and, like, you know, a man won't really, like, talk to, like, young single woman, just, like, super engage her because of, like, the way it looks, because, I don't know, they're shy. Like, men are really not supposed to engage with women on that level unless they're married, and then even then, like, even married people, like, I don't really see them, like, interacting in ways that are super touchy. Yeah, but I don't know, it's cool that they finally started talking to me. I teach an English class, which is funny, because when I came here, I was like, the last thing I want to do is teach English. Like, if anyone asked me to teach English, like, I'm not doing that. And that's turned out to be, like, the most worth it thing that I'm doing right now. It's usually, like, 30 to 40 kids, and we don't have enough chairs, so they, like, sit on this wooden bench, and some of them sit in chairs, and some of them just stand and, like, listen to me. And I went out and, like, was like, I'm getting a whiteboard, like, I want a whiteboard, and found, like, the only whiteboard in probably the whole village, and it was so old and so dusty and, like, bent, and the kid was trying to sell it to me for $5, and I was like, dude, that thing's not even new, like, I'm only paying $4 for that, like, F you. I didn't really say that, I just, like, bargained, and then I paid $4 for it. But no, it's awesome. I stand up there with a whiteboard, I, like, write down words, and I tell them what it means, and then, you know, yeah, they know, they're, like, learning, they're really smart kids. Some of them wear, like, the same outfits every day, so if you're watching this, and, like, I don't know, anywhere between, like, 4 and 10-year-old clothing, if you just want to, like, box that up, send it over, Christmas, Hanukkah, you know, do that, you can send it. Some of my kids wear, like, the same clothes every day, so, like, I don't know, I could give them new clothes, so that'd be cool. But yeah, no, they're awesome. They're so funny, and, like, they laugh at my pronunciations, and I laugh at their pronunciations, and then we just all learn together. And at first I was super, like, I'm not teaching English, like, I don't want to be a part of this, like, neo-colonial, like, spread English BS, but then I have to, like, deal with the reality that, like, I'm totally working for a U.S. government organization, and, like, speaking English is completely a privilege, and, it's a huge help teaching them English, and if they learn enough and they know enough and they're proficient, they can speak, they can go out into the you know, main cities and get jobs that are way better than just, like, staying in the village and farming and doing, like, subsistence farming that pays shit. So yeah, can't deny them something that, like, a bunch of kids came over and was like, please teach us English, and their parents were like, please teach them English, and, like, I was like, I don't want to, okay, I'll do it. And then yeah, so, like, I'll have a really hard day and come home, and then, like, they're all there, like, an hour early, because they just, like, I don't know, they just really want to learn, which is, like, crazy to me, so I'm just like, why? I would never show up to school just, like, early. And so, like, I have no idea how to teach English. I just teach random shit, you know, like, whatever I feel like that day. Sometimes I just go through my book and teach some things that I don't, like, know in Khmer. Sometimes I go through and try to teach some things that I don't know so that I can learn while they're learning. And then, like, try to make stupid games out of things, like Duck Duck Goose. I don't know, I just make shit up. And they're really funny, and they really like it. Yeah, my health center's really cool. Everyone wants to learn English. Like, my director is, like, always asking me English words, which is really cool. And then, like, in the evening, he'll call me and be like, what was that word again? Like, have me repeat it 17 times, and I know he's, like, writing it down. So it's really funny. I really miss, like, my K7s and my K8s, and the LCS and stuff. And it's really hard, like, being here in the village by myself with, like, no support. People are yelling. People are always yelling. I don't know what they're yelling about. So yeah, but it's cool, you know, talk to a bunch of people. Other people are having a hard time, other people aren't having as much of a hard time, but we're all in it together, we're all here. At the end of the day, like, I still think it's super laughable that I'm here to help, and I'm illiterate, and I can speak as much as like a 12-year-old, but I think more than anything, I'm really just here to learn. I'm here to learn about these people, I'm here to learn about myself, and if along the way I can, like, do something really cool for them, I hope I can do that. And I need to change these people's minds about, like, blackness, because it's, like, really crazy. They just love white. They're I can't even deal with it. I need to write about it. I'm gonna write about it. I'm gonna give you what I write, and then that's gonna be it. I feel like I should show you my house, but this is a really bad, like, video camera. Okay, well, let's try it. And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna just take a different video where it's better. Okay. So this is my room. That is my blow-up flamingo. He's having some troubles right now. My tapestry is up, which, like, when I got to put that up, it just changed the game. The room got so much better. My light, which is so not right at all. This wall, it's got my world map on it. Bunch of pictures. I read that so much. Tina Sasser made me that. Tina Sasser, you're awesome. We're unraveling our navels so that we may ingest the sun. We are not afraid of the darkness. We trust that the moon shall guide us. And some dark times here in Cambodia. So, you know, trusting in the guidance of the moon. This is so bad. You can't see anything. This is like upstairs. And okay, I'm not gonna use this to show you my house. I'm just gonna show you outside. Right here. Okay. Nope. That's my dad. I don't know what he's doing, because I never know what anybody's doing. Oh, my English teacher is also super cool. He's this red guy. He was taught English by Mormons, and he told me a funny story, which I will not tell you, but he was like, so these Mormons taught me English, but they also told me some things that I found super unbelievable, and I was like, this is gonna be great, please tell me what they told you. And he was like, they told me that only people in their church can go to heaven. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. I was like, that's crazy. What about Abraham Lincoln? He likes Abraham Lincoln. I don't know. I just remembered another story with Abraham Lincoln and the same guy. So he like told him, so he was like, what about Abraham Lincoln? Like, he didn't know about the Mormon church. Like, why, like, will Abraham Lincoln not go to heaven? And they were like, shut up, no, of course Abraham Lincoln's gonna go to heaven, like, Abraham Lincoln's an exception. And then he was like, alright, like, what about the people in the jungle who, like, do good things, but they've never heard of the Mormon church, like, are they not gonna go to heaven? And then they were like, shut up, and then they left. That was the end of the story. Ah, Mormons. Yeah, another story, same guy, Abraham Lincoln. So I told you I've been having, like, kind of some trouble about, like, this whole people telling me to bleach my skin and, like, me telling them no, and then the next day them having the same conversation with me, and then I'm like, wow, I really hate talking about this with you because I'm not going to bleach my skin. So then we had a language session, and I was like, help me explain to people why it's important to me to, like, be black and, like, not have people tell me that, like, black skin is ugly and, like, that I should be white. And then, so he gave me a bunch of sentences, like, to tell people, and, like, you know, that, like, being black and loving that is, like, a point of strength, and blah, 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 all this stuff. And then he turns around, because people are watching, which people are always watching me. Whatever I do, there's, like, a little audience, because I'm better than TV. And he, like, turns to all the people who's watching, and then he just starts going on this whole, like, monologue, like, and all I catch is, like, Abraham Lincoln, something about catching black people, and I was like, what is he saying? You know, and he turns around, I'm like, what did you just say? And he was like, I told them about, you know, the times of slavery when they caught black people from Africa and then sold them, and then, you know, and I told him about Abraham Lincoln, and he loved black people, and then he was like, we shouldn't be doing this anymore, and he told Congress, and, like, Congress was like, no, Abraham, like, you're crazy, like, we're gonna keep doing this. And then Abraham Lincoln, like, wrote this amazing speech, and then, like, Congress was like, you're so right, like, we're all human. And then they were like, we should get rid of slavery. And then the North and the South, like, fought, and they fought, and like, because one side wanted slave, and I was like, okay, not quite all of those facts, but I'm gonna it's a start. I'm gonna let you have it. And yeah, so so then all these random Khmer people like learn about slavery, kind of. And then he was like, yeah, they totally understand now, like they respect that, and I was like, I'm gonna let that go. So yeah, it's crazy out here. One more funny story, and then I don't know. Okay, I think it's funny. I don't know if you guys will think it's funny, but one more funny story. So I went to Siem Reap City like last week because I had to get my bank card from the bank, and so to get there, there's like this one taxi driver who goes from my village to Siem Reap, and so I was sitting in the front seat of a Toyota Camry, green, small Toyota Camry, and in the back seat of the Toyota Camry was four adults and 3 children in the back seat of a Toyota Camry. And then driving along, about to leave the village, and another dude who has his arm in a sling, so I assume his arm's like broken or something's going on with it, like walks up to the car, and like the driver stops, and I'm like, there's no way we're gonna get this guy in here because like he has a broken arm, there's already 4 people in the back and 3 children. I'm sitting alone in the front seat, whoopty, and no, the dude with the arm in the sling gets into the car sitting under the driver, and then the driver sitting on top of him starts driving. So we're going like 100 kilometers an hour, 100 kilometers an hour down a dirt road with lots of potholes in the middle. So the driver doesn't drive in the middle, he only drives on the sides, and which means that like if there's people on the sides, like he either has to like go to the other side or like the people have to get in the way. And then we were driving, and this like one little boy is like walking on the side of the road, and we're coming at him really fast, and the little boy, like, me and this little kid are like making eye contact because I'm like, dude, get out of the road, like this guy's crazy and he's going to hit you. And the little kid's like, this guy's not gonna hit me. And then at like the last moment he's like, oh shit, this guy's like really gonna hit me, and like jumps off of the road into the brush, and like just like he's this tiny kid, so he disappears. And I'm just like, this is terrifying, I'm gonna die on this road, like we're gonna hit a cow's butt and I'm gonna die, and like there's a guy under the driver. Oh my god. Anyways, the guy with the arm eventually got out, went to Siem Reap, did nothing, came back in the same car, sitting in the front seat, less people in the back seat this time, though his 12-year-old was sitting in between us. It's a Toyota Camry, there's like no seat in between, it's not a pickup truck. Anyways, so then we came back, and dude charges me double the usual price. Why? Because he said I was sitting in the front seat by myself, when usually 2 people sit in the front seat of a Toyota Camry. Cambodia. Alright, just read the stuff I write. Videos are weird.